Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Shawn's Riff Time Machine. This is an emergency broadcast for me. A very quick one I had to throw together last minute because when I uploaded my video for the week, it had been copyright claimed and banned. Because I was playing along with the track, and that is a no-go when we're freaking talking the Beatles. Corporate giant sellouts. No, I love the Beatles. I've been a fan of Beatles my whole life. They're just really, their music is very much a part of my childhood. My dad is a Beatles fan. My mom is a Beatles fan. I know she likes the older stuff, not as much the later stuff when they got weird. I really like the weird stuff. And my oldest sister is a big Beatles fan, so we had a lot of their music in my house. My sister had a good CD collection that had most of their records. And we watched Hard Day's Night and Help, and I just very much remember the Beatles' music being a part of me growing up. I used to always think that I didn't feel like I heard the Beatles enough on the radio. For the band being as iconic and important as they were, I feel like I should have heard them a lot more on the radio. And almost being surprised sometimes when they would be played on the classic rock stations or the oldie stations, whatever we had around here. But I'm not going to talk about the formation of the band or anything like that. I mean, that story's been told 1,000 times. The reality is I'm a big fan of the Beatles, and they were kind of, as far as I consider, the first major rock and roll band, and all other subsequent rock and roll bands are what they are because of the Beatles. And, some people think it's a time and a place thing. I know people who don't like the Beatles. I'll never understand that. But I don't think it's a time and a place thing, because even after they disbanded, each and every one of the members, except maybe Ringo, had good, solid musical offerings and strong careers, and that level of success was different across the musicians, but they all had major talent, and I think that the music stands on its own. The Beatles aren't necessarily a riff-driven rock and roll band, but they have some. Kind of like when I think about Pink Floyd, the band I talked about last week. There are some in there, but the Beatles is just the whole collected works of great songs, catchy songs. That's what the Beatles are really all about. The song that I want to play that got booted was Day Tripper, so I'm gonna do it old school style and just play along, just play the guitar riff myself, and hopefully it doesn't have any problems going up. But one thing about the Beatles, I kind of said this before, there's just kind of a catchiness, of course, to their music. And, as a musician now, someone who's writing their own music, sometimes I have to second guess myself a little bit and think, is this too simple? Does it repeat too much? And the Beatles would write entire songs, records, off of very simple guitar riffs or chord progressions and patterns. Killer vocal melody over the top of it. 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, you got a song, and history doesn't lie. They wrote iconic songs, very catchy stuff, and sometimes there's nothing wrong with a little bit of repetition, nice hooks. So anyway, this is Day Tripper. Go check it out. Beatles are great. Jam the Beatles, they're lovely.